Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Lone Wolf. Before we begin, a few housekeeping. I've read some very good comments from my last workshop video, and I've noticed that there has been some criticism on my audio. So hopefully this is better. This is not my usual mic source. This is a different source from my computer. So I hope it sounds better. Now, a few things regarding this episode's session. The Oracle will be my usual D100 and a few of these dice here, maybe some of the GM Apprentice cards. And then this will be Theater of the Mind. There's no map here, no battle map, no hex map. And I'm going to try to step back from overplaying the RPG element and focus on the mechanics and the roll the dice. So, for example, let's test it out. We're on our way back from rescuing Damaris, who is this golden die. This is Charlotte, and then this is our character Basil. Now, we ask the Oracle, do we make it back without any trouble? I'm going to say that perhaps we encounter something, so likely. So let's say 60% chance. Look at that, 65. We narrowly avert some trouble, perhaps a boat of other Creed members that were following us, but we lost them. So that's good. And then we get back to the harbor. We can't forget that Damaris is still a wanted escapee, a wanted prisoner, a fugitive. One thing I overlooked was the ship key I had that we picked up from the dead captain's body. We looted. I'm going to assume we use that to enter the lower deck of the boat to find the Damaris. So I'm going to remove that from my inventory to keep that, to save that spot for another useful item. We have the spyglass. I'm going to give that back to, give that back to its rightful owner, who is Charlotte. And then we're going to pay her as we dock back to the harbor 50 gold as we promised. So now we're down to 55 gold pieces. And then once we return, we're going to roll the dice to set the scene. Are there any city guards waiting for us? For example, the captain, Captain Harriet, the city guard of Featherwind. Are we going to encounter him? I'm going to say, very likely, so 75% chance. Yep, we do. So he is waiting there with a few other guards. So let me grab some dice here. This just represents his character. He's most likely going to be a sixer. And then two guards waiting to escort Damaris, seeing our return. Now, we have to convince the captain not to arrest her or subdue her just yet. Learning that we won't reveal our connection with her, that we were childhood friends, but that she is trying to prove her innocence and that she did not kill prisoner, the prison guard. So this will require, as we dock, this will require a roll with +1 willpower. So let's see if we get in that partial success range. And that actually is going to be decent. So this is a 7, 8, 9. How do I interpret this? This is a high partial success. So let's say the captain is willing to listen because of our reputation. That we did find her, we brought her back, and we did help defeat some of the Creed from earlier, so he's giving us a chance to listen. Okay, we take her back. We say goodbye to Charlotte, so she is done. We thank her for her help. She's back to her dock. We're now with our childhood friend, Damaris, and we're trying to, one of our paths is to prove her innocence, in my path list here, prove Damaris' innocence, and we're with the guards. So we have the main captain here, we have the two other guards. Now, they absolutely hate her. The captain is willing to listen because he understands. We've helped him in the past. There you go. Hope you guys can see a little better. It wasn't exactly focused properly, but in any event, we sit in a little room at their main barracks or jail in the city, or I should sorry, in the town of Featherwind. I keep calling it a city. Let me make sure my locations are correct here. We have characters. We have location list. Yep. So town. Yep, it's coastal town. Okay, so we are talking with him, and we have to convince him that she is innocent. She was deemed guilty for again tax evasion, but she did not kill the guard. So she gives her side of the story. We're going to roll for her. We could roll for her, or we can just ask the Oracle. Does she give a truthful story to the captain to prove her innocence? I'm going to say very likely, because we're here now. I think we gave her that boost of confidence, 75%. Okay, she does, takes her some time, but she does give a truthful story as to what exactly transpired upon her escape. She escaped with someone. Okay, so this someone was another prisoner, but it was a Creed member. So I'm going to add a character here. This Creed member is actually another commander of the Creed, a higher ranking official. So we'll put that in name. I'm going to think Jeffries. We'll say, let's say Lord, perhaps Lord Jeffries. Lord Jeffries. He is a Creed wizard. No, let's say he's a assassin for the Creed. He's a hired mercenary. So, okay, so I think I'm just going to call him Jeffries because he's a hired mercenary for the Creed. He doesn't work with them, he works with them indirectly. He is a contracted killer for the Creed. He's like the go to. So she explains that they escaped at the same time because of the jail riot, and he killed the prison guard. She was just happened to be there at the wrong time, wrong place, and the other guards saw that, so they thought she killed him. She gives that side of the story. Does this convince the captain? Because again, we're there. So I'm going to say very likely 75% chance. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so he says too many multiple eyewitnesses saw her kill the prison guard. And because of this, I have an idea for a path. Now, we interject. We ask the captain, what if we find Jeffries and bring him in to prove her innocence? This will have to be, I believe we have an advantage here because, again, we have some reputation with the guard. So I'll do a 3d6 plus 1. Sorry, the highest of the two plus 1 willpower. Okay, it is maybe a time limit perhaps on this mission. So 7, 8. So it's a mid-range partial success. Okay, so prison guard, the captain, Captain Harriet, he says, okay, but you have 24 hours. If not, she is going to be executed. So she is obviously shaking in her boots, but she thanks Basil for the attempt, and she thanks Basil for at least we have a chance here to prove her innocence. Okay, so she will be detained and locked up for the time being. We have 24 hours to find this Jeffries. To you know what? I'm not a fan of that name. Let's decide a new name. I'm just not. I don't know why. I'm just not liking it. Let's do Mark. Ooh, Skeld. Skeld is a cool name. I'm going to use that. So, Skeld. I've done a few recordings of this episode because of technical issues. So I don't recall if I said I was going to use the GM Apprentice cards or not, but I do apologize if I did, but I am going to use these every so often. So Skeld is the mercenary who I've decided to retcon his name because I was just not, Jeffries was just not really rolling off the tongue for a mercenary. So Skeld, I like the name Skeld. That actually does sound pretty good. Okay, so she's been detained. and she's in lockup. So we leave. We have to find out who information about Skeld. We're going to go to the local tavern. Is there a tavern? I think there's 80% chance there is. Okay, there's a tavern. So, oh yeah, there was a tavern. We were there already. Right. So we're gonna enter the tavern. We're talking to the bartender. The bartender is there. Now, we asked the bartender for information regarding Skeld. Remember, this bartender likes to be paid for information. Let's ask the story, the Oracle. Does the bartender know anything about Skeld? I'm going to say 40% chance. Oh my gosh, he does. That's a solid extreme yes. Not only does he know Skeld, he knows where Skeld may be hiding, or maybe at the moment. Because remember, Skeld is also a fugitive, so he's on the run too. So I believe to pay him, we're going to pay him 20 gold, or not 20 gold, 10 gold. And I am going to adjust. One thing I totally forgot to do in the last video was to loot for gold, which we didn't really find in the cards drawn. So I'm pretty much stuck with what I got. So we have to work with it. Now, he tells us that the following. Let's draw a card. Skeld is currently most likely at. I have no idea what that location is. Let me try another one. Ooh, a battleground. Actually, let's see. What's in the back of the card here? A bridge? He's at a bridge. Okay, I'm getting a lot of like mixtures of canals, bridges. I'm thinking that he is at. There is a bridge in town, a large bridge, and there is a lower, like an area beneath that is for the scum of the town, like the very, like pickpocketers, like the really bad district, the scum, the what do you call it? Not the I'm trying to remember the name for it, but if I remember, I'll mention it later. But he's in the bad part of town, and he says, "Look, he's below the big bridge." So we get the information. We leave the tavern. We already paid him, and we look for this big bridge. Now it is going to be in the middle part of town. While we are making our way towards this big bridge, do we encounter anything? Let's roll the oracle dice. Persons. Okay. We encounter a persons. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see who this person is. What's their reaction to us? I rolled approaching. Okay, so while we're walking, there is someone of interest walking up to us. Who is it going to be? Is this someone we met before? I'm going to say 75% chance. It is someone we met before. Not too long ago either. Okay, so I'm going to say it is going to be Charlotte. We meet again Charlotte. She's walking in town. She's holding a large bag, like she's shopping for goods. And we're on our way kind of in the direction of the docks, and we run into her. So she, obviously, we have we say hello again. She wondered what we're doing. We tell her, we fill her in that we're looking for a man named Skeld. I'm even thinking of calling him Scab. I keep trying to say Scab, but Skeld is, again, it's decent. So, anyways, does she know anything about Skeld? I believe she might actually. If she's a rogue assassin token here, so I'm gonna roll with that. Even though she's a dockmaster, she works in the docks. Let's say there's a 60% chance she knows Skeld. And that's a yes. She says, "Oh, I know Skeld." So she has information on Skeld. We ask her if she wants to help us find him, and she says for a price, but we're low on gold, so we can't give you 50 gold this time. And I think then we tell her, well, if we find him and we loot him, you can have what he has. He just wants to find him to prove we gotta find him alive, and we tell her we gotta find him to prove Damaris's innocence. And I think, is she busy? Like, does she want to help? Remember, she's kind of all for excitement. She becomes a companion at this point, like a hired help. I'm gonna say, if she's holding a bag, she might be busy. So 40% chance. Oh my God, 41. She's hesitant. I'm gonna take that as a mid. Okay, it's that technically is a no. She says, maybe another time. She's perhaps busy. She likes the idea, but she's busy. It's she's super hesitant about it. We're not exactly trying to persuade her, but I think when we go at it alone because of the whole lone wolf concept. So she walks by. She says maybe next time, but she says, "Let me know what happens," and then she's off the scene. So we're now on our way towards the bridge. We approach the bridge. It is a large. There's a large drop, and you can see the scums below, and it is just a dreadful sight. There is just there's a there's signs of heavy poverty. There is pickpocketers running around. There is orphans. There's loose dogs and cats running around. It's just a complete mess, and it's like a complete difference in class compared to where we are now on top on the first uh, on the ground level, and then looking down deep down in the caverns of the town. Maybe it's like beneath the sewers. It's a totally different world. So we can call it the scums. Now, uh, we go down there. We find a way. We find a path down. And do we run into anybody? Let's say 50-50. We don't. Okay, so we're basically moving our way through the crowds down there. There's like it's a market of just traders, criminals. It's just there's a huge mix of different people and very questionable people. Now we approach what appears to be a little handful of vendors, and they look like they're selling stolen goods. Now we do encounter the following: there is going to be an obstacle, and this obstacle is going to be, let's see if we roll for it. What is this obstacle going to be? Unaware of us. Okay, so this obstacle that's in our way doesn't know that it is in our way. So I'm thinking it's going to be the following. Let's say, oh, someone proposes. I like this. Maybe there's two people proposing in our way while we're walking, and I don't know why that's funny, but I'm thinking like there's a little there's a kind of like a really random wedding going on in the middle of a busy path. Like two people are proposing. Like one guy gets on his knee and like he asks his love interest to marry him. I don't know, just a random. I'm going based on the proposal. So uh, that just kind of takes it's an obstacle because it blocks our path. Now, while we kind of make a right, we bump into a vendor's booth, and it's a vendor who's selling what looks to be magical items. Like there's amulets, there's crystals, there's books, scrolls, and he's this really old man, long beard, really short, maybe a dwarf. And he looks up at us. He says, and he inquires if we want anything. Now, while we're close to him, our amulet that we're wearing starts to glow, and he recognizes it. He says that he knows this amulet. He knows of its power. We don't know. Let's try to see if Basil can tell if he is telling the truth or if he's trying to scam us. We'll do a +1 on this roll. It's willpower. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we believe him, but we're hesitant. We're gonna hold it, but we will show him. So we show it to him, and he does kind of examine it, and he says that amulet is capable of showing your desires, your future, your path in life. and it's a blue jewel that it's a blue amulet that's around our neck, kind of beneath our clothes. It's on a necklace below our first layer of clothing. And so he says he wants to buy it from us. Now it's glowing in the moment. We kind of look at while he's talking, we look at it. Basil looks at the amulet, and he can see an image in the amulet of what appears to be a hooded individual walking through the alleyway, and the alleyway looks familiar. Then the amulet starts to get more tense. The glow gets brighter, and the individual starts to get closer to the amulet in the actual amulet as he's looking at it. So the dwarf yells. It says, "Hey, are you listening to me?" And then we look at him. And we look around. Now, do we see anybody resembling that rogue? I'm gonna roll. We'll roll awareness. Let's see. This will be +1, of course, for willpower. Okay, so we have a potential conflict here. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna be failure. We don't see anybody resembling the in the vision in the pearl, or I'm sorry, in the amulet as we're holding it. We don't see anything around. So it's way too busy. There's a lot of people, and then while we're looking around, the dwarf snags the amulet out of our hands and rips it out of uh, off our neck. It tears the amulet off, and he bolts out of there. So we shout, "Thief!" Ironically, everyone's looking around, and they all start laughing. So the booth closes up like by itself, like magically, like the shutters, and he's out of there. We're gonna go chase him down an alleyway. We see him. We gotta roll for dexterity. So this is there's no bonus on it because I don't have a bonus on dexterity. 7, ooh, barely. We're keeping up with him, but he's like diving under. He's shorter dwarf, so he's not fast, but he's pretty clever. He's like he knows the area pretty well. He's diving underneath boxes and gates, and he's making his way through very short, very small little parts in the alleyway, kind of nooks and crannies of the alleyway. And we reach a fence, and we got to climb over. So we're gonna do a strength check to climb over, and we see him running down another alley. +3 on this roll. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do. We jump the fence over, and we catch up to him. Now he gets cornered. He's just about to dive into like maybe a sewer drain or like an access point, but we grab him and we turn him around, push him against the wall, and we says, "Give me back my amulet." And he doesn't have it. He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and he's not holding anything. So we pull a weapon out. We pull our dagger out. We put it against his neck, and we say, "We don't want to ask you again. Give me my amulet back." And he says, "So I search my pockets." So we search his pockets. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. No gold, nothing. Just no amulet. Like shit. So he's not holding it. It's not on us. We look back and we see the hooded figure from earlier turn and bolt, run off. So we drop the dwarf and we chase after this other individual we just saw. We're cutting through the alleyways. We're back in the main path in the scums, and we lose him. Well, let's roll. Let's roll. Are we able to keep our eye on +1 on this roll? That is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. We see him kind of running through the crowd. We chase down him. We're bumping into people. People are like, "Hey, watch it." We push some people over. We bump into a wagon. Some stuff falls off the wagon. And there is music playing in the background. There's some bards playing. We're really, really in the deep areas of the scum network, the scum areas. So we're chasing him, and he scales up a wall, and we're gonna try to do the same thing. So we can see the pearl hanging off his hand as he's climbing the wall, climbing a pipe of sort. We're gonna do strength on this one. So, oh wow, okay, so 10, that's 13. We are able to jump on some crates, climb up parts of the wall, and get to the top. And we block his path. He's about to run, but we surprise him as we find a way up this. We're on top of not a roof, but another level of a path. We block him. He's standing right there, and he is going to be an encounter. Now, this guy's holding an amulet, and he is going to be a level 6. Let's put a level 6. Okay, so make him a little tough. We can't see his face. We shout, "Who are you?" And we pull out our warhammer. Does he answer? Let's see. I'm going to say 25% chance he doesn't answer. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, so he pulls out two blades, 2d6s basically, and he charges at us. So we're going to roll for attack. We're in combat now. All right. +3 strength. Oh, wow. Okay, so even though he appears threatening, we do manage to gut him. So that's going to be 11 plus a 3, so 12, 13, 14. We are able to attack him without considering his armor. So I'm going to roll my d8. 3. Okay, so he takes 3 damage. Okay, so there he is right there. 3 damage. And he coughs as usual. He coughs out blood. He stands up. He's holding his stomach. We gutted him. He now has one blade because the other hand is busy holding. He says, he tells us that this is gonna be challenging. This is fun. And it looks like we can see his face. Now, we don't recognize him because we never met this guy before. Now, however, we're thinking we shout to him, "Are you skilled?" So let's roll. Is this skilled? 75% chance. It could just be some random thief. This is not skilled, but this guy knows him. He says, "No, but I work for him." So Skeld is going to be somewhat of a boss, but we're dealing with one of his henchmen. So we tell him, "Where is he right now?" And he obviously doesn't answer. So he's going to strike us again. So roll for attack, +3 strength. Nice, another good roll. Okay, so that's another attack. We were hoping not to kill him, but chaotic good. So this will be a block the armor. Armor's not considered. Okay, we stab him. He falls dead. Defeated. We pick up we get our blue amulet back. And this amulet appears to be a sort of a spider sense, like a spidey sense. So I'm just trying to figure out how to write it. Magic amulet. Let's say 6th sense. Amulet. 6th sense. It kind of warns us of some imminent danger within, like, let's say 15 or 20 feet, like 15 or so yards, perhaps. So we take it back. We loot him. Does he have anything? I have a loot die right here. We're going to loot him. I'm sure he does. Medium, large loot. Okay, so he does have some things. Let's draw. I'll say he has 50 gold, or let's do 40 gold. 40. So we're back at 85, or up to 85. And let's draw a card from the GM Apprentice deck. What else does he have? Custom rings. He has a bracelet. Let's take the bracelet. That might be, let's say, Assassin's bracelet. Rogue bracelet. And then he has rings on. We'll ignore that. What else does he have? Let's draw another card. Anything else of interest? Because some of these categories are modern day items too, like hollow projector, drawing tablet, paints and brushes. Okay, so we ignore the rest. We loot him for some gold and for a rogue bracelet. Okay, so he's dead. We defeated him. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have any. He didn't leave any notes. Nothing. Like we just saw that. But does he? Oh, does he have an emblem on him? Let's see. Maybe he has his own little faction. Does he have an emblem? 60% chance. He doesn't. Nope. And 94 is extreme no. The problem is that extreme no turned into 2 more individuals appear. They drop down from the top of the roof. They jump onto the ground and surround us. That's extreme no right there. These are other 2 assassins. We are basically in a bad area right now. Tough spot for our character. Now, I'm going to take a medicine. I'm injured from earlier, so now I'm down to one. So we'll roll a d6 for this medicine. Three. Okay, so I'm back up to 9, 10, 11. 9, 10, 11 out of 14. Okay, so they have us surrounded. Are these guys going to attack? Let's see. 50-50. I think they want to talk. Nope, nope. There's another 90. Yep, they're going to attack us. Okay, so here we go. More combat. They're going to attack us. We're rolling for strength. The first one, +3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this will be a back and forth. All right, so we'll roll our D8 Warhammer against their D6. There's my D8 against a D red. All right, here we go. Oh, we don't hit anything, but they hit us by 2. So we take 2 damage. We're down to 9. All right, next roll. +3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to be a armor considered, but they don't attack us. So we roll for damage. 3. Ooh, that's tough. Okay, so no damage on them. Okay, rolling again. +3 on a roll. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 1. Rolling for damage only, plus the armor. 2. Darn it. Can't get it. Okay, I got to get more roll on these things. Okay, roll again. +3. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be a back and forth. We both roll, both die. Both party armors are considered. 3 again for us, but damn it, wow, not good rolls for me today. So we take 2 damage, down to 7 out of 14. Okay. So I'm going to roll again. +3 for attack. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Finally, well, still a good roll, but we got to roll for damage. Okay, come on. 7, finally. Okay, that's me. 5, 6, 7, 3. All right, this guy's down to 1. And I can't use my Freight Eye because they are equal to me. So it wouldn't matter. D4, my D4 attack bonus die. Okay, so roll again. +3. 6, that's 9. So it's back and forth. Roll both dice for damage. 7. Oh my gosh. Okay, 5, 6, 7. We take 3 damage on this one. All right, so 6, 5, 4. We're down to 4 now out of 14. That's not good. That's worrisome. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that backwards. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I totally read that backwards. We are still at 7. That's our dice. That's theirs. So they don't hit us. They take 7. So I'm gonna let's say we will. I have an idea. So 5, 6, 7. This guy's down to 1. The difference of armor. My Prey die will do the rest. My attack bonus. Here we go. 4. So I'll take this guy out and this guy out. So we have defeated those 2. I'm gonna take medication, my last one. And we'll roll a d6 for healing. 5, not bad. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're back up to 12 now. Okay. So we search these 2 guys. We search these guys, and we do find some notes. Some basically letters that have writing on them, and these notes have emblems, the same emblems matching these guys. Well, the last guy we killed, the D6 assassin, he didn't have any emblems, so these guys don't have emblems either. So I'm going to walk that back. But these guys instead had. They both had little notes, parchment papers with our face on it. So we were being targeted because we're asking too many questions. So it's signed by Skeld himself, and there is not an address but a name of on the back of the paper that shows a location, like a point of interest. Well, let's ask the Oracle. Do these parchments of paper have any markings on them that we can find out where these guys came from? I'm going to say 50-50 on this one. I don't know. They don't. No. Okay. So they're just parchment. They're just regular pieces of paper with writing, kill this guy and, job done. So let's loot them, see what else they have. They hoard, roll thrice. Ooh, okay, wow, okay. Large loot. Wow. Okay, so we find 100 gold total on both of them. So 185 gold now. And then we find the following: a miniature giant space hamster, a ferret. There's going to be a nothing from that one. That's not exactly what I had in mind. Okay, we find this one has food, so we find rations. So I'll add rations to my collection here. I have 4 now. Okay, let's see what else we got. And then we also find playing cards. We'll skip that. Belt pouch. Okay, so we'll skip that. We search the other guy. What do we find? We find small loot. Okay, let's say it's going to be not that one. Oh, lock picks. Okay, that makes sense. Lock picks. Okay, so lock picks, 3 of them. So I believe at this point, Basil knows he's on the right track. He knows this Skeleton hired them. Their name is signed on the notes, but the note didn't have any identifiable markings as to where they came from, like House of the Assassins or something. But we can ask around. So we're going to go back down. We're going to go down to the market. We'll jump back down, and we're going to ask around that maybe in an area we haven't been yet. So we're in a fairly busy area. We ask one of the merchants that are passing by, do you know where we can find some hired help, like hired mercenaries? And does this individual we're talking to know? Almost 75% chance. He doesn't. Well, he's not answering. Let's just say that. He's not answering. We're willing to pay, so we're trying to persuade him. We're talking to a random merchant on the streets, hopefully not the dwarf again. So we'll ask him again. We're willing to pay him, let's say, 20 golds for information. So I'll do a bonus with the pay. So we'll do 3d6 plus 1 from willpower. Ooh, critical. Nice. So plus 3, that's okay. 12, 13, 14, 15. That's perfect. So critical. He loves gold. He takes it, so we're down to 165. Not only does it tell us where we can find mercenaries, he says it's right down the corner. It's right down the path to the left. It's in an alleyway. It's called the Assassins, or let's call it, I'm trying to think of the name. Perhaps let me pause the video for a second. The Bait Adrift. So we look for this place called the Bait Adrift. We go down the path where he told us. We make a left, and we do see a very mysterious looking door with one guard, like a bouncer, blocking the way. So we walk up to this bouncer. He's just a big dude, like a barbarian. He's blocking the way. He looks at us, and we ask him if we can enter. He says, "What for?" We says, "We're looking for work. I'm looking to have someone taken care of, basically." And does that convince him? This will be a flat roll plus 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he does let us through, but with the payment. So oh no, we show him the bracelet. He says he needs to see some evidence. So we show him the rogue. We're wearing the rogue bracelets. We show it to him, and he's intrigued. He lets us through. So we enter the Bates Adrift. I'm gonna write this down. So locations. Okay, so the Beta Drift is basically a assassin's hideout disguised as a tavern. So it's a small bar. It's a small tavern, very very small, very skinny and narrow. And we walk in. It's very dim. There's barely any light candles. There are rogues sitting everywhere. And when we look, we enter. We're this big kind of almost spider-looking knight wearing a suit of armor. We walk in. Well, we do have the capes this time. Maybe we do blend in. Do they all look at us? I'm thinking we really do stick out. So, do they all look at us? What's a 75% chance? They do. Okay, so there's like four rogues in two in the corner, one at the bar, one near us. They all look at us. The bartender stops clearing the glass, looks at us. The bartender, we walk up to the bar. They all keep an eye on us. And the bartender asks what we want. And we say we're looking for someone. And he says, okay, is that someone a drink? And we said, no, we're looking for Skeld. And everyone remains silent. The bartender doesn't answer. He says, I can't help you, fella. He turns around and walks away. Then the four rogues, the four individuals in the room stand up and they pull out daggers. So there's four individuals. These will be kind of lower range, nothing really difficult, I'd say, but there'll be four of them. So they all stand up from their positions and they walk up to us and they ask, why do you want to speak to Skeld? Now, these four probably don't know about the notes from earlier. Perhaps the two we fought earlier were Skeld's personal bests, perhaps. I think Skeld has his own little operation going. He's not like a major faction, but I think he has his own little like Assassin's Creed organization. Small time. Nothing big. So these four walk up to us and we say, Basil, I think Basil will be honest. He says, I'm looking to bring him in alive. And they are about to attack us, but suddenly the back door opens and there is Skeld himself. He enters and he says, wait. The two open up here. He walks in and we are face to face with Skeld, the one who allegedly killed the prison guard and escaped with Damaris. And this is where I'm going to end the episode. All right, so this was actually pretty good. I actually like this episode. It's pretty intense. So, notes for myself as usual. We are face to face with Skeld. Potential encounter. We are in the location called the Bates Adrift. Small, tiny corner, hole-in-the-wall bar, tavern area. And we have four rogue assassins waiting for Skeld's. I keep wanting to call him Scab. You know what? I'm going to call him Scab. I'm sorry, but I'm going to change his name. I keep changing this guy's name, but I like Scab. Scab now sounds better. Scab. Sorry, guys. I'm sure that pissed off some people, but Scab. So Scab is the one we're looking for. From Jeffries to Skeld to Scab. Maybe he has multiple alliances. That's it. Yeah, that's my excuse. His name is Scab. His actual name is Scab. We are asking him, and we're face to face with him right now. A potential encounter, but right now it's a standoff. So that's from the end the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And I hope my audio is better too. I really do. Thanks for watching.